So these Qs are coming down, and I don't know if this is going to break higher or break lower yet. And, semis are chopping back and forth. They haven't completely broken down yet. We're here. And I have never in my life seen the 5, 10, 20, 50 day like that. Just all compressed at the same day's price. Like everything I know, everything I've learned about trading in my life tells me that a big move is coming some way. Which way is it? That's my job, is to figure out which way it is. So this day I begin shorting the Qs here. Nothing really happens. So I get out by end of the day, and this is when ASML has earnings. And ASML are always the first semi to report. So they're a huge indicator for the rest of the industry. So I have this trade. I'm wondering right now if semi's going to break higher or break lower of this area. And this is what it was, is this right here, July 15th. It wasn't, so ASML was gapping up on the great earnings, but I was looking at semis as a whole reaction, right? But we're here right now. And I tried to short the Qs before this day, and I cover it because ASML earnings are good. I cover it after hours, and it's like kind of like, we'll see what's going to happen. I don't want to get my door happy and on the wrong side, right?
Yeah.
So I have this trade that I spoke about in the first one, April 24. I got smoked in the competition right here.
Yep.
And what's so funny is, again, it's like how they make it look so, isn't that a beautiful fucking chart, Richard?
Yep.
Here's the lesson that I look back on. And then of course, they get me to buy semis this day. I buy them pretty aggressively. It precedes the breakdown, and I go through a quick 12% drawdown just in that little move, not recognizing the environment change, also continuing to trade when the environment changes. It's a huge mistake. But the lesson here is, let's get this 200 right here so we can see what's going on. Once this happens, this changes everything. And then if you notice all of this action, this is the indicator, this day right here. All of this action is in between that day. So sellers are still in control, right? So this gives me such a, and like this day, Thursday, the 11th, I'm telling all the boys, I'm like, semis are about, semis are about to break the F out, boys. And like we're loaded and stuff like that. And it just ends up being this huge trap move. And then let's get back to this trade right here. Okay, so ASML earnings, I'm worried about they're going to break higher. And I have I have like a nervous feeling. I put on all that risk in April 24 scenario. And I genuinely have a nervous feeling next day about the big gap down. It was gapping down too much for, health. And now ASML this is the earnings day right here. And you can see that in the morning it pushes up. I don't know if it pushes up here, but the big indicator was the Qs right here at this insane inflection point. Now that ASML is out of the way, I mean, semis right here at this insane inflection point, and I start to feel myself get that same nervousness again. It's literally, this is what we're talking about, emotion and reactions in the chess masters, right? And it's like, if I never get smoked on that trade in April 24, I'm never able to capitalize on this one. I make 10x on this one. Here's the most important thing, and this is what we were talking about in the cars. Like, we shouldn't ruin this right now. It's like, sometimes this is just what I've found. I don't know the truthfulness of it or fact-basedness of it. It's just what I've found, and it works for me. Some weeks and months in the market sometimes come down to 2 minutes, 5 minutes of action that depicts what's going to happen next. So I'm wondering, I'm sitting there nervous about semis about to break higher. They're gapping up to this 20. Maybe they reclaim all these moving averages and just rip higher back to new highs. But then let's go intraday and Wednesday, July 15th. So let's go to, I'm watching this thing off the open, and this is what I'm talking about, where it's like weeks and months of market action all came down to this one moment. Is this going to break higher or lower right here? This is the inflection point of all inflection points.
And the context is the market's coiled, semis are coiled, everything is coiled.
Yeah.
And now it's this opening price and how it acts.
A big move is coming. Like no matter, like the dynamics of just a supply and demand, like a big move has to be coming. It's just how it is. So, but you look at this opening 5-minute bar, just pukes on high volume, just absolutely pukes. So what do I go? Whoa, July 15th, where's that? So you'll notice the first opening bar too. It's just, I don't trade much off the open anymore, but sometimes there are very specific scenarios where it calls for it. And I see semis just break down like that. And that's months and months of information right there at this one point. So I'm sitting there, I'm just shorting 1,000 shares a clip at the Qs until I get a notification from Interactive Broker that says like, don't do any more of this, brother. All right. So I literally, but the important part, it's not like I'm being a cowboy about it. It's, I have a spot to manage my risk against these little highs. If it breaks that area, I know I'm wrong. I know something's changed. Maybe it's ready to break higher, but I've been staring at this thing for weeks. I didn't take any of the other attempts in Dell and such, So this is my shot. Being an income-based trader, this is my shot. And I want to tell you about peak life here, Richard.